Okay, so this is the density of the 4 different cubes that were given yesterday in class. Copper was obviously copper color, aluminum was the lightest, lead was the heaviest, and iron was the shiny cube. If you're not 100% sure, come up and check, ask your partners, and figure out what you had. Now on your sheets from yesterday, take the value that was given that you measured in class. If you did not get that done, go ahead and do that right now. And then take that and you subtract it from the value that is given. You will notice that this is an absolute value. There are no negative values. We drop the negative if we have one. And then we divide it by that value again, and we multiply that by 100. That is going to be our percent error for the cube. All right? So hopefully you can find what you had for that. I want you to do that as well for on the top for the water. We know that water is 1.000 grams per milliliter. So if you have not completed that, get your 2% error or 2% error formulas calculated and done. The worksheet that you just picked up off the desk, on one side says scientific notation, and on the other side says sig figs. Okay, so what are these two things and what are we going to do? Well, to be very brief, scientific notation is a way to write a large number by showing the number of decimal changes. You will usually see this with the letter E or times 10 to the power in your calculator. A sig fig is a way to show the numbers that matter in a measurement. Okay, and so your calculator actually has the sig fig calculator function. And so that is the key thing here, is that both of these two sections, we're going to come back on Monday and I will explain what your calculator did for you. But all I want you to do is to let your calculators do the work for you today. So the first thing I want you to do is to put your calculators in Sci Mode, SCI mode. It's usually located near the top of your calculator. For the TIs, it says mode right there in the top, and you'll move your cursor over the top of that. Okay? For those of you that might be using an older version of a calculator, or a calculator's not it usually has it up on the top. Like I know right here on these older TIs I have, it says SCI and ENG right on the top. And so if I click the on button and the SCI, it'll put it right there. Okay?
You gotta press the second button.
Yep. Second, and then Sci, move over and hit enter. Okay? And then all I want you to do is to go to the worksheet, and I want you to go to the side that says Sci notation, and I just want you to do the problems with your calculator in that mode. You don't have to do any long form, you don't have to do any short form, you don't have to do any scratching. I just want you to answer the problems in that mode. Does that make sense? Okay. So now flip over to the other side of the worksheet, and I want you to take, and if you have the TIs, you can use them. If you don't have a TI, you're going to have to share with the person sitting with you. Okay. But I want you to go to the apps, Sci Tools, and I want you to go to the part that says Sig Fig Calculator. Okay? So go to Sci Tools, Apps, Sig Fig Calculator. If you do not have that calculator, you are going to have to borrow one or share one with somebody around you. So on the bottom, you will see that there are problems 3 and 4. I don't want you to do the top. 3 and 4 just has basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Now, Your calculator has stored in it a lot of rules, a lot of basic, simple rules on doing a mathematic problem. I will talk about what the rules are on Monday, but the rules are stored inside your calculator. So if you do have one of these calculators, it already knows all the rules, and the stuff I'll give you on Monday isn't necessary for you. Life's good. If you don't have one of these calculators to use, you're going to have to know these rules so that you can punch them in. Okay? Last thing I want to add here, do not leave off the E's. The E's are exceptionally important. Again, on Monday, we'll explain what's the deal with the E's, but do not leave them off. You're actually going to be learning from your calculator as you punch it in, as you see it happen in front of you. And then I will come back and reinforce what your calculator is telling you later. That make any sense? Okay? So, if you come across something that stumps you, just move on to the next problem. Okay? We'll go over these on Monday. All right? But that's what I want you to work on right now. About 10 minutes here, we'll take your quiz. So.